Okay. All right, got my water filled up. The farm has been running this whole time, so hopefully we have a decent little bit of moss in here. Nowhere near as much as I was hoping, unfortunately. That's all right. Like I said earlier, we don't really need all that much moss. The issue now is we just got to figure out where we're getting some dripstone, because I have absolutely no idea where I'm about to get any dripstone. Also, I'm not realizing when I open my inventory, you guys can't really see it. So if I do this, now you guys should be able to see it. Yeah, now you can see my inventory. Sorry about that. It's been an hour and 16 minutes and I'm just now noticing that. All right. Yeah, we got to figure out where we're getting dripstone. And I'm really hoping that if I set this to cave mode, we can find somewhere that has a dripstone cave. So this is the fishing village. So if we set this to be like level 10, layer level 10, is this by chance dripstone? Is that under the fishing village? Certainly looks like it, so maybe, just maybe, there's gonna be some dripstone over here. No, that's granite. Oh, that's granite. That's unfortunate. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't think we're gonna really be able to find much in terms of a dripstone cave in this area. I think I've pretty much mined all of it. Tell you what, how much moss do we need? We're still waiting for a decent bit of moss, so while we wait, I'm gonna go pull up my chunk base real quick and find us a dripstone cave. We don't need much, but we do need enough that, like, I'm not about to go try and naturally find one. Is that the right seed? Yes, it is. All right, so we are looking for a dripstone cave in 121.5. Highlight biomes. Dripstone cave. Set this to underground. Well, according to this, there's nothing but dripstone caves all around spawn. However, hold up, let me switch this to 121.4, because spawn was generated in 121.4. Alright, yeah, even then it says that there's nothing but dripstone caves all around spawn. So, where are the dripstone caves? Like, the map has... World spawn is, like, right back here. Right there. No, world spawn actually is, like, right here. So, if it's nothing but dripstone caves, I should be able to go down anywhere within, like, 100 blocks this direction and find a dripstone cave. But, you know, Oh, I thought I saw dripstone. But, you know, I don't see dripstone. There's a little bit here. Is this enough? All right. We'll have to fly in that direction. How much moss do we need still? Just a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, we'll have to fly over there to expand what we can actually see, but I think we're gonna find dripstone over there. I only plan to grab 6 stacks. We're taking this. The section we're building tonight is over here, and I'm not entirely sure how far I want to take this. I know that we're for sure coming over to this point, and then depending on how time looks, we may go another section along here. Depending on time, I'm planning a big project right here for the next episode, so that is what we're doing all this preparation for. Yeah, so there might be some dripstone just over there. Hopefully. That'd be pretty nice if there was. In the meantime, we gotta wait for this to finish. So let's sleep, and hopefully we'll have enough moss very, very shortly. I don't really foresee this taking that much longer. There's another 3 stacks right there. So yeah, probably another minute and a half, and we'll have this all set up. All right, 4 more stacks there, so 2.5 to go. And it really does seem like, unless, is there one down here? Perchance closer? Easily accessible would also be a great bonus. Ooh, diamonds. But I have plenty of those. That's not what I'm looking for here. I don't see any dripstone, which is so weird because when I look it up on Chunkbase, it says that it's nothing. Where are we? Nothing but dripstone caves. Like all of this should be nothing but dripstone caves according to Chunkbase. And when I switched it to actually look at the world generation in 1.21.4, because that's what world spawn was generated in, it's still read the same. So where are the carpets coming from? Oh, our carpets. Uh-oh. The random junk is, yeah, I'll clean this out. There. That should solve that problem. And that is all of our moss. Perfecto. Now, turn this off. Select what? Oh, I didn't. And I picked up all that. All right, now we're good to go. We can grab that and that. And it says there should be, yeah, it says there should be some dripstone over here somewhere. Let's check down here. Aha, now this is a different, oh. Oh, is that also? No. But all of this, all right, perfect. And just straight down, yeah? Yes, sir. That should be a little fall right there. And then I don't really want to land. All right, we're not going to land on a stalagmite. There it is. Oh, but one landed on me. That's great. Dripstone. So we're going to aim for about 6 stacks here. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Also, all these little spiky bits, of course, will pay off. Make some extra. We'll probably store these. I'm pretty sure I used all the stalagmites I had laying around. Or, these are just called pointed dripstone, right? Yeah. I believe I used all the ones I had laying around to craft dripstone, because I had run out of dripstone in my known cave. So we can save these. We'll make a farm someday in the near future. Even if it's something that I'm not really going to need much of after these cliffs, it'll be good to have a farm for it, because it does grow incredibly slowly. And we can just put it in the spawn chunks, because it's not something that's going to cause a lot of lag. I mean, these things grow so incredibly slowly. Every 1,000 days, you'll maybe get, what, half a dozen harvests of that farm? That's how slowly this stuff grows. Yeah. So that'll be the plan with that. And then there was a whole nother section of Dripstone Cave a little ways down, I do believe. This way? Was it? Yes, it was. You know, I've been thinking of a lot of different ways that I could end up dying in this world. And something that's occurred to me as I've been mining as much dripstone as I have in the last, like, month. If I manage to somehow die and lose my hardcore world because I was mining dripstone and a stalagmite landed on my head, that would be probably one of the most pathetic ways it could go. Probably one of the most pathetic ways it could go. Again, of course, hopefully it doesn't go ever. Like, hopefully I never die, but you know, sometimes you get bored. You just gotta think of all the different possibilities, and that one would be a bad one. I have determined that. For those of you who were wondering, I have no idea what I'm rambling on about anymore. I'm sorry. This is the last resource, though. So once we get this, we can finally start working on the cliffs. I was originally planning for resource gathering to only take about 30 minutes. That was before I found out there was no wood in the sawmill. Had I known that, I would have done that before the stream, but I didn't really bother to check. So here we are 90 minutes in, still gathering resources. I'm so incredibly sorry, but this has taken a lot longer than I originally anticipated. Oh, this is the... Is this the same ravine I looked at earlier? No, this is all dripstone, but that's a different ravine. I think it was this way I want to go then. I didn't want to be in a ravine. Yep, over here. All right, another stack and a half of this stuff, and we're good to go. Then we can finally get to work. All right, well, one more stack to go. Of the sounds of Minecraft, I know I've done some complaining over weird nether sounds already today, but the dripping sound off pointed dripstone, that is a really, really fantastic sound. Mojang, you did good on that one. Like, I love listening to that sound. You hear it? Oh, it's so nice. It's just like a little splash sound, but I don't know, something about it. I really, really like it. All right, that should be enough dripstone for now, and if it isn't, now we know where we can get more. now we just gotta get out of here without... What was that? Up we go. All right. Now this way. Yep, there it is. Let's go put away these extra things, and then we can get to work. Oh, we also have to get the resources out of the furnaces, actually, now that I think of it. I kinda need those. Those are important. Yeah, just kind of chuck that in there. Those are kind of important, so we'll stick those in there. And then the easiest way to get these things out is really just to mine them. It's way too slow otherwise. Wait, how do I have 8 charcoal? What is... Where did that come from? This side. That's all smelted, so I don't know where the extra 8 charcoal came from. I must have messed up somewhere along the line. But we do have a lot of charcoal now, thankfully. Sun appears to be going down, so while I prepare my inventory, we will go ahead and take a nap. And then we are good to go, everyone. Coarse dirt. Of course, we need our mangrove. And I think we're going to do this like section. I've done this 2 different ways. So I've done like rows, or not rows, columns, where I do like a couple columns at a time. And that works all right. But the other way I've done this is I just do like rows. So I'll do the bottom row and then I'll do the top row, or not the top. I'll do the bottom and then I'll just, steadily go up. I don't know why I said top. But before we can actually start doing that, we do need to map the path that these are going to follow. So what we're going to do is grab, we probably need a little bit more than that. Just some random blocks. We're going to use grass. And we're going to fly all the way over to the edge of our cliffs and just start marking where this is going to go. Now, step 1, we got to figure out where we want this to go. So, like I said, we want to have this go from there, somewhere over here, and then from there, probably down to around this point. And from there, oh, this is still set up like that. From there, it runs downriver to the logging camp, and we'll have to find a way to naturally make those cliffs just disappear after that, but that's not today's problem. Today's problem is to get that to naturally connect to over here. Oh, hi. Speaking of which, how much is in here? That's a fair bit more than I was expecting. And because we're about to be in this area, that's going to be running this whole time. Anyway, I'm getting distracted once again. The rooted dirt all over. I need this to curve. Did I hit? So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go 2, 2, 2. Then we're going to go 1, 1. And we're just going to naturally walk out of this, I think. And then we're going to go 2, 3 times over here as well. And now we can go a little bit longer. And then once we're here, we're going to want to go a bit shorter again. Because now we need to bring it in. I would prefer to keep it, not right on there. Because if it's touching or right next... What is happening? If it is touching or right next to the land like that, it does become really annoying to work with because you have to carve away some of the land, because as you can see, these cliffs cascade back a little bit into the landscape. So this distance right here works perfectly for us. Right here, I think we're just gonna do a large set. Oh, YouTube, the stream thing just crashed. Is the stream still running? What was that? I've never had my stream thing crash, like, ever. The stream still seems to be fine. Okay. Never had that happen before. I guess there's a first time for everything, but yeah. I don't think the stream went down at all, but yeah, the browser crashed. Now from here, we want to just kind of naturally run this around. So what we're going to do is a few of those, and then we're going to come do the 2s in this way. And then here we're going to do 1, 1, 1, back to 2. All right, and now here we can do 2s. And we'll just little by little. Yeah, all right, so now here what we're gonna do is 3, 3, and I think we'll do a 4. And we're just gonna try and bring this out to the middle, like right there. Perfect, so this is the section that we're now gonna work on. This is gonna be so much fun. All right, now, as you can see here, this is what we needed the spruce wood for, this lower section here. So we're just gonna go ahead and get, sorry, let me get a sip of water here. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just start placing the spruce wood. Now, to keep this unanimous with the rest of our cliffside, we're going to do 1 strip of spruce wood all the way along the bottom, and then the second and third layers where we're going to start adding some difference to the whole thing. Apparently I can't place blocks where I need them to go. Jeez. Yeah, for only 3.5 stacks of spruce wood, that took way too long to actually collect all of that. But as you can see, we are actually using all of it. Alright, we're not going to take any of these to 3 high. So here, we're just going to go ahead and randomly add some spikes. Just raise it up a little bit in some random places. Just add a little bit of variation to the whole thing. And as you can tell, I don't really care about which way they're facing. Again, the variation kind of works in favor of this being a natural cliffside, because it wouldn't necessarily all look picture perfect, if you will. All right, so that's probably good. Now from here, what we're going to do is grab our chorus dirt, and we're just going to do a complete layer here where we're filling in. Actually, we're not even doing just that. You're just doing a complete layer. So on top of every single visible spruce block, you're putting in a ling. A ling? Sorry, I meant a ring. Thank you, Darwin. I'm pretty proud of it myself. I'm really excited for this next project that I'm going to work on because I have never built anything like it before. I'm really excited to give this type of build a shot. I am still working out the size for it, of course, because I do want to make it real big, but I don't want to make it too large. But I'm really excited. All right, so coarse dirt, almost all in now. Now that we have all of the coarse dirt in, we need our mangrove wood, and this we're just gonna do on top of every single coarse dirt block. Yeah. Yeah, I think my brain might be starting to have a stroke. I'm mixing up words. It's pretty warm in here. I think it's like 80 degrees in this room right now, which isn't that bad. I know it's been a lot worse in here, but 80 degrees is hot, man. At least for me. I don't like heat very much. Don't do very well in heat. All right, so there is that first base layer. Now we can just kind of step back, see if we like where this is going. Yeah, I like that. Of course, like I said, we're going to have another section then from here going down to somewhere over there. I'm not too sure. If I can get away with it for the next video and this project, I'm not going to do that next section of cliffs. It's really going to depend on what angle I choose to put the build at and how much I really feel like procrastinating that. But if I can get away with it, I'm just going to leave it unfinished in that section, at least for the time being. Because building cliffs is not the most fun thing in the world, believe it or not. Alright, so now, since I haven't actually set it yet, the tuff layer now, we're going to add a single banded stripe of tuff all the way around. One block recessed back from that mangrove stripe. And this is just going to be what works us into that first, like, dark stone layer, which would be coming after this, of course. Nope, that one needed to stay. There's some tuff. Yeah, all right. So this is coming along pretty nice. I'll go ahead and sleep in just a moment. Right here looks like a perfect spot to squeeze in a bed. What day are we on, actually? 12/11. Dang it, I did not mean to do that. Nice and gentle. There we go. All right. Yeah, this ring takes a lot more time to put in because it is recessed, but once we get this in, the next layer will go very quick. Well, maybe not very quick. It is like 6 blocks tall, but still, it doesn't actually recess back for like 6 to 8 blocks. So it will go quicker than this, I think. Plus, I'm starting to get into that groove, you know? So once we really get into that groove, this will be going real quick. Why have I not been using my offhand, like, at all? Like, I just remembered I have an offhand. I don't know how I forgot about that. I'm just gonna blame my bedrock instincts. I'm still adjusting. I'm not sure that excuse works 4 months later, but, you know, that's what we're gonna go with. All right, so there is that first buff ring. Next up is going to be the darker ring. So this is going to be that deep slate and smooth basalt. And like I said, this is going to go up for about, nice and gentle now, for about 6 blocks. More or less. It will vary depending entirely on what I want that section to, you know, look like. But generally, it's going to be however tall that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6. I was right the first time. That doesn't happen very often, so I'm going to be happy about that for a hot second here. So I've been thinking about storage rooms because I don't actually have one in this world yet. And I'm sure, as most of you saw, I'm sure you're aware of the Copper Golem. All right, just came out. Well, it's not out yet technically, but it just recently got announced. I think it was last week, so pretty recent. Actually, I don't even think it's in Java snapshots yet, now that I really think about it. I saw this morning that they were announcing pre-release candidate, whatever it's called, 1 for 121.8, which kind of surprised me because I didn't know that there were any features in 121.8 yet. It seems to be a lot of bug fixes in that release candidate, and considering that, you know, it's a release candidate, it should have every single feature in it, shouldn't it? At least listed. I'm not sure. But the Copper Golem was not listed in that, so I don't actually think that's in Java yet. So I don't know when that, like, full release would be coming out. But my point is, I would love to somehow incorporate that dude in my storage room. Went on a long tangent there, but eventually I got to the point. But I would love to somehow incorporate those guys into storage room. And I do have intentions to have, like, multiple storage rooms. Just across the world, it gives me a reason to travel around and do things. I missed a lot of tough spots, didn't I? Gives me a reason to travel around more. That's like one of the big things when I did the sawmill. I put the forest out there, so I have a reason to fly back and forth. And eventually, when I do get this whole thing connected up with paths and other trees and buildings along the way, it'll look really good. And as you're traveling along, ideally on horse, it'll look fantastic. It's about painting that picture, you know? You gotta paint that scenery so that you want to travel on foot. Or not on foot, horseback would be the general idea, but you get my point. And I don't remember what I was talking about now. I know I was yapping about horseback, but I don't remember why I was yapping about horseback. How was that connecting to storage rooms? I don't remember. But yeah, I want to build multiple storage rooms at some point. I really don't remember where I was going with this. Oh. Yeah, I'm at a blank. But the copper golem does look pretty cool. I'm excited to see what people actually end up doing with it. Because I feel like if you set up a system using copper golems and allays, you could get some pretty interesting things done. Because the allays could pick the items up off the floor. Copper golems could then pick those up and put them in chests. Now, my thought for this would be something I want to make kind of soon, because I'm sick of mining deep slate and tough. I want to make like this giant tunnel bore TNT launcher machine. And I think a great use for the copper golem with allays could be on that system. You have a bunch of chests set up on like sticky pistons behind it. And as the machine moves, it pulls the chests with it. It pulls allays with it. They can all be like on fence posts leaded. Same with some copper golems. And how this can work is you can have the allays pick up all the items, move them into a chest for the copper golems to pick up items out of. So some copper chest somewhere. And then from there, you can get the copper golem to sort whatever's picked up. Tough, deep slate, diamonds, whatever it may be that you find. I think a system like that could 100% work, and it'd be really cool. I know on Java that wouldn't work because tile entities can't be moved over here. But I'm sure I could find a mod to fix that. I already play with plenty of mods, so I wouldn't be against finding one for that. On Bedrock, that should just work like no problem, because you can move chests over there. I don't know why that isn't on both versions. Like, why is that not parity? I really don't understand that. Seems like something that should be parity to me, Mojang. Just thought. But yeah, that's one of my random ideas. Random possibilities. I'm cooking up all kinds of ideas tonight, guys. We had the rooted dirt farm brilliant idea, which again, I was supposed to look up during that break if anyone else had that same idea, but I didn't do that yet. But I will look that up later tonight. Because if no one else had that same idea, I am definitely going to cook on that probably all night. Could be building another section of cliffs, but nah, he's going to go research rooted dirt farms for no apparent reason. Gotta love how my mind works. Alright, so this is how it's looking. Yeah. Hello, Eshwar. Welcome back. It's been a little bit, hasn't it? Haven't been live in probably about a month. But yeah, I remember you. Welcome on back. Oh, I don't have... It's a tough there. Fix that up. This next section should be a bit of a low section. I am adding some cliffs to the world. More accurately, I'm expanding upon the cliffs. Recently added a whole bunch of these. There's even more going that way, but because I'm streaming, I did turn down the render distance. Otherwise, it would be pretty laggy for both me and you guys. We can go ahead and fly over this way. Animated waterfall. That was in the last episode, if anyone missed that. Looking absolutely beautiful. I haven't done any research on best way to build a glass river yet, but I'll figure it out a little bit later. But yeah, I did get this path in. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video, but this path is in. It's set up halfway on this side. I do have to add cliffs on the other end of this and go in that way, but I don't really know what I want to do in this direction yet, so I'm not paying any attention to that. We're going this direction because I have a plan for the next episode, pretty big project in mind, and I want to place it right over there. All right, brand new day. So yeah, I want to place the next project in this area here, and I decided to expand the cliffs down further so that it looks presentable when I get working on that video. All right, a little bit further to go, but yeah, it's coming along, isn't it? Looking pretty good. All right. So we've discussed rooted dirt farms because why not? We've also discussed mining boar using allays and copper golems. What next random redstone topic should we discuss? I need something to ramble on about. Any input, guys? Yeah, I need to stop checking this like every single time I go up. It's not changing that much. See, look at that. I didn't do it that time. Look at how easy that was. Redstone kills you. Yeah, fair enough. That's what I always said. I always said that. And then one day I just got bored and proceeded to start piecing stuff together, and it just kind of started making sense to me. Any like really big technical stuff is still incredibly out of my ballpark. But when I build the redstone machine, it takes me a really, really long time because I'm sitting there trying to dumb down every single little component so that I can understand what it's doing. So, I mean, when you're the one building it in that sense, it does make more sense to you. But if you're just staring at someone's giant contraption, it hurts my head. Unless I'm the one that built it, I have no idea what's going on. Like that redstone sawmill, that took me... I think that took me about a week to design. It probably shouldn't have taken that long, but I had to slow down every single process. Also, when it comes to redstone, I can usually figure it out in the end, but I don't really know what I'm doing. At least not in the beginning. So I have to just keep trying stuff until hopefully something eventually works the way I want it to. So that's another reason things take so much longer than they really should for me. Yeah, YouTube tutorials. It depends on what the project is. I'll usually do that for like farms and stuff, but some things I like to know that I designed it. Doesn't really do anything for me, and actually it probably is a lot less efficient than if I just looked up a tutorial, but something about that sense of pride, knowing that you're the one that designed it, just really makes me happy. All right, so there is that section, or that row, should I say. Now we have to recess it back a little bit, and we get to raise it up. I would say 4 blocks, but it's not going to be the same across the whole thing. It's just going to be until it gets to around that level. I'm going to have to use another rocket. Man, really didn't want to have to do that. Gentle now, gentle. And all right. So we still need this tough and, or not tough, deep slate. I don't know why I said it's tough, and I don't know why I put it away, because yeah, we still need it. The levels are, wrong button. The levels are gonna be varied, of course. It's gonna be jagged, but yeah, I'm gonna end up looking at this like every single 2 columns I do, aren't I? This is gonna get really annoying both for me and you. That's too much. Down. And then in here, we can just... yeah, something like that. And now, of course, I gotta check it. That one should be a bit taller. Make that a bit taller. Yeah, I keep checking it. Like, the extra 2 blocks I just placed changed it drastically, but I don't know. It's driving me insane that I keep checking it that much, but like, I can't help myself. That's gonna look way too uniform. Knock back down a level. Come on over here. We're just gonna go. This one we can go up double. That should work. Yeah, all right, that works. That. Yeah, all right. That works for me. I'm gonna check it again. I've gone maybe a dozen blocks. And I've already checked it like 6 times, haven't I? Oy vey. It's alright, I just gotta make sure it looks perfect, you know? Totally not like once it's completely done, I'm just gonna like completely forget about it. No, that's just ridiculous. I have no idea what I'm rambling on about. I'm just talking. I suppose, since I need something to yap about, we should talk about the plan for the project going here for that next video, shouldn't we? Give you guys on stream a little bit of a... what's the word I'm looking for here? A little bit of a deep dive, you know? Get you in the know. I don't like that I just said get you in the know. I'm never saying that again. Oh, but yeah. Over there is going to be a really big project. Probably the biggest in the world so far. We're going to be building a cathedral. That's right. A cathedral. I'm not realizing I put the resources in the wrong box. This one is supposed to have cobble deep slate. The other one's supposed to have the smooth basalt. Does it really matter? No, but it bothers me. Just thought I'd mention that since I just noticed. Yeah, we're building a cathedral. So I spent about 4 hours last night looking at real world cathedrals. I looked at Notre Dame. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I'm not French. I think it's Notre Dame. Or is it Dame? I think it's Dame. And then I also looked at the Washington National Cathedral. I looked at, there were, I think, 3 in Germany that I looked at, but I have no idea how you say that because the German language is just incomprehensible to me. Those ones are a bit too pointy in my opinion, though. I was looking for something a little less pointy. So in the end, I decided to use the Washington National Cathedral as the base for me to like go off of when designing this one. And I don't actually have any blocks placed in game yet. I've spent like I said, the 4 hours yesterday, and then I spent a little bit of time earlier today just kind of pulling historical records, trying to figure out how long it is, find some of the early sketches and blueprints for the building, just so I can see, you know, what they did. I haven't yet decided if I want to like one-to-one. Well, it wouldn't be one-to-one because it is in Minecraft, but I have yet to decide if I want to like copy that real world building into game or if I just want to use it as inspiration. I'll probably make a final decision on that tomorrow, because as far as today is concerned, we're building cliffs, and then like I said earlier, I'm probably going to spend the next 3 hours after I finish the stream building a completely and utterly ridiculous rooted dirt farm, because I have problems. I don't know why, but we talked about it earlier and I just can't get it out of my head now, so rooted dirt is definitely going to be the rest of my night. Yeah, that's working for me. But yeah, Washington National is going to be the one that I use to base off of. I did like the idea of just like copying it into game. They're like the best I could, you know, finding ways to match that real world architecture. But when I was looking at some of the sizes of it, one of the things I realized is like the glass stained window on the front of it, it was like 26 feet across, which when converted to meters, it's about 8 blocks. So 8 blocks across on the window, that's not terrible. Ideally, I was hoping for a little bit more. Something a little more impressive to look at, you know? But if I go much bigger on that window, like maybe double that size, 16 to like 24 blocks, somewhere in that range, then I gotta make the whole building like a lot bigger to accommodate these much larger, I think they're called roundel windows? I don't know. I pulled some website with cathedral language, like terms, so I'll probably be reviewing that before I actually start recording the video so that I can sound fancy and educated. But yeah, the window, in my opinion, like in game would be too small. And on top of that, I think the height of the building, it was like 600 and I want to say 76 feet, which I don't remember what that was converted to meters, but when I converted it to Minecraft blocks, it was 206 blocks tall at the tallest point. And now that sounds kind of ridiculous to me. And when you consider the fact that up here is sitting at level 100, that's not really going to work, I don't think. So then I had the idea of like doing a half scale, you know, 1/2 scale the building into the game. But I'm not sure about that either, because if I do that, then that roundel window on the front would only be 4 blocks, which I think is way too small for a fancy stained glass window. I want to actually be able to see like the fanciness in that window. So I really don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. I got a lot of options, a lot of ideas. Was that a pig or... Yeah. For some reason, I thought I saw Jason Momoa, like from the Minecraft movie. I might be losing it. Oh boy, I might be losing it. Just saw Jason Momoa in my Minecraft world. I am losing it. Alright, thanks for dropping by, Darwin. Hope you sleep well. Good night. But yeah, that's generally where I'm at on that episode so far. Today, we're just trying to get these cliffs in place so I can start planning the cathedral. I haven't even started recording that next episode yet. This is just some in between off-cam rework, because I already have done 2 episodes on these cliffs. I'm not about to make another one, or start another one where I expand it. Hello, Dream Usb. I'm just gonna call you Dream, because... yeah. Welcome, Dream. Also, this is not a server. This is just my hardcore world, so... no server IP. Sorry, but no. Not a thing. How we liking that? Bye. Okay, bye. Yep. I'm confused now, but okay. Yep. Alright, we have a very little bit more to go on this section here. Alright, I think we got about a dozen more blocks. After this section, we get the tough, then we get the brown stripe, and then tough, and then we get to finish it off, so... alright, yeah. I don't really know what I was just doing. There was not a single thought running through my brain right then and there. Oh boy. This needs to get lowered. This is starting to get, like, really high. I want it to lower down a little bit, mellow out. Like that. Yeah, something like that. Just nice and gentle over here. And then right here, we'll get a little bit more in. And now we've got 4 more blocks. Two more blocks. We're so close. And that'll be that. So now we get to do a tough section here. Take a step back first. Yeah, alright. I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. Alright, so next up we're doing a tough section. Now this is going to be anywhere from 2 to 4 blocks, really. And I don't know. We're just going to start placing it in. We'll see how it looks as we go. Ideally, this section won't take that long because it's just going to be, like I said, 2 to 4 blocks, recessed by 1. This should work. Alright. So, like, yeah, there we go. There's 3. We can just kind of fill this in a little bit. Yeah, I'm kind of running out of things to yap about. My brain is just starting to shut down. Oy vey. It's alright, we'll get this done. I'm gonna do these cliffs. They're gonna look fantastic. And then I'll probably go design a rooted dirt farm for absolutely no reason. And then I'll probably make an incredibly overly detailed short about said rooted dirt farm. Again, for absolutely no reason. Yeah. Yeah. You know, now that I've said that out loud, I may just need to stop. Like, I need to stop. Oh, I don't think anybody wants to see a short about an insanely overly complicated rooted dirt farm with absolutely no real reason for it. But now I think it'd be funny, so I just kind of want to make it. Oh my god. I think I'm losing it. Oh. No, it's alright. It's funny. It's funny. I'm having a good time. I hope y'all are having a good time. And we're getting some work done. So it's... we're going good. It's okay. Oh. Build that. How's this looking? Yeah. Just as I was expecting. Like a cliff. There's nothing really interesting happening that I need to keep looking at it. Actually, I've done pretty good on this layer. I only checked it once. That one time, which is pretty good for me, because I, for some reason, keep checking it like every 2 blocks. I think it's because I was talking about the rooted dirt. Again, just every time I start talking about that rooted dirt, all of a sudden I'm just like locked in, you know? I'm distracted. I'm telling you guys, it's the rooted dirt. Yeah, I might be losing it. That's quite a possibility, but you know what? Oh well. All right, so of course I'm once again thinking about the rooted dirt, and of course, because I have absolutely nothing else going on in my life apparently, I'm thinking, I was talking about a way to possibly use TNT to blow up the trees. I don't think, I mean, you could do that, but I don't really think that's needed. Something I do have to test, like on Bedrock Edition tree farms, we will use... What we would do is we just have the pistons, because when they move a block, it would break the leaves. I assume that works on Java, because it seems like a pretty basic feature. So I don't know why something like that wouldn't be parodied. I suppose there's the possibility that it isn't parodied. But... Big but, assuming... it is parodied, that would be a much easier way to do it. Oh, I fell. Because then you're not worried about the blast radius. You're not trying to set it up to just... I just heard a trident. Where? Oh, all right. We will work our way towards you. Just don't despawn, please. I would love the chance to get a trident. I don't think I got one yet. I'm trying to remember. There was a singular chance where I think I may have gotten one. For some reason, it's in my memory that I got one, but I don't really think I did. I think my memory is failing me because I don't think I have one. But I could be wrong. And even if I am wrong, and I do have one, I would love another. Plus, tridents are a pretty rare commodity on Java. Bedrock, they were very easy for me to get. But here, I know for a fact they're pretty uncommon over here. So, please tell me this guy's still there. There he is. Oh, I got his head though. I can show off that I single-handedly killed said trident drowned. Not that I have the trident to show for it. Alright, how is this looking? Yeah, looking good, looking good. Now we can go back to our brown shulker box here. And we can get out the rooted dirt, a bunch of dripstone, and use that. However, real quickly before I do that, we are going to come down in here. And we're going to go AFK for a short period of time. You guys are going to get a nice little break, and I'm going to go once again refill my water. So see y'all in a moment. That's right, peeps. I've returned with a brand new cup of water. Probably, I don't think the mic picked up the slurping, but there was... Yeah. Anyway, that happened. So, yeah, back to work over here. Go ahead and sleep through the night. Go ahead and sleep through the night. Worked that time. All right, so now we have our rooted dirt, we have our dripstone, and we get to add a little band along up here. So this one's a band, it's like 3 to 4 blocks typically. Or that's at least the standard that I've been running. Is this supposed to be... Oh, this is not a recessed layer. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. I was testing the audience. You guys failed. You didn't notice. Nah, I'm just messing with you, of course. But oh, dang it! This is not a recessed layer. As I switched materials, I guess I think this is just inherently supposed to be recessed, but that's not how I've done it for any of the rest of these cliffs. So I don't know why that's bugging me all of a sudden, but whatever. Just get it through me head, not recessed. Yeah, all right. See, there we go. Now we're getting the hang of it. How's that section look? Just like cliffside. Perfecto. All right, we can go ahead and continue this along. Well, I really didn't want to put 2 of these there. Yeah, so the rooted dirt is just supposed to be like a nice little thing to sprinkle in, add a little bit of extra texture. I could have used some granite to achieve that, but I didn't actually think of that until like after the fact, and by then I just didn't really care. Also, that is way too tall. Not to mention, I think the rooted dirt I think the color on the rooted dirt better matches with the dripstone than the granite. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. If it is, I don't really care. But yeah, that's just how I feel about that. I thought the granite was a lot more red. So we're rolling with, that's the wrong block. So of course we're rolling with rooted dirt. Yeah, this is 100% what sparked all the rooted dirt farm conversation. All right. When we were getting this earlier, that's what sparked all that. For anyone who wasn't around at that time and wonders why I keep mentioning rooted dirt farms, that's why I said something about automating it, and I have not been able to get it out of my head since then. Actually, it wasn't even about automating it, because you can't automate that. It's you need a player for it, but there's much more efficient ways to do it than the system that I have set up. The system that I have set up is actually awful. Yeah, I'm burning through dripstone a lot quicker than I thought I would. How much more do we have? Oh, we still have, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We definitely have enough to finish this little section. Definitely no worries about that. You see, when you place a block like that, normally you see it because people are catching themselves, like in some crazy parkour chase thing. Yeah. You're not supposed to do that. Nuh-uh. That is not beneficial to anyone. Even the slightest. Oh, that was really not that scary. I don't know why. That one did make me jump, that's for sure. Oof. All right. Yep, definitely have enough dripstone. All right, so let's get that brown shulker box back out. Pick up all of that, and we can get our tuff back out, because now it's time to go ahead and put in another layer of tuff. This layer, again, around 3, somewhere between 2 and 4 blocks. And this layer is actually going to be recessed. Apparently, at the beginning of this dripstone layer, I was having a real hard time with that for some reason, but now we can actually recess the layer. Yeah. I was really wanting to do this with the other layer, apparently, so here you go. Have fun with this. I don't know why I laughed like that for that. That was not. Yep. Anyway. Is that too much? No, if anything, it's not enough. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. So this is all working pretty well. Again, I don't know why it wouldn't. I'm just out of things to yap about because I guarantee you guys don't want to hear about rooted dirt anymore. Not to mention, I don't think there's much more I can say about rooted dirt. I've pretty much said all of it by now. Which probably is not a good achievement, if we're going to be realistic here. But it's an achievement I can say I have. Alright, so this is starting to come up pretty well. I guess, since I need something to talk about, we can talk about what might go underneath these cliffs. You see, these cliffs are absolutely huge. We can look at our world map here, zoom it out nice and wide. I mean, this is all cliffs. This entire thing, all of that is cliff. And it's going to go pretty far back, so I have the option to really dig it out. All right, like these are all going to go back into elevated terrains eventually, but if I wanted to, I could dig these deeper as well. The possibility for, I don't know, whatever cave thing you want to put under there is absolutely insane. So if you guys have any ideas for that, I'd love to hear it because I don't really have any plans. Absolutely zero ideas. Actually, this is the very first time I've thought about that. But it just I just realized. So, yeah. Ideas? Because, I mean, I could do a storage system under there. I'm a little torn when it comes to storage systems because, like I was saying earlier, I do really want to make a bunch of different ones for different item types, like all over the world, so I have reasons to go and travel. However, when you have this giant, cliffside here that essentially is just a, hollow facade, you have a lot of possibility for ginormous every single item storage systems, which when done in the past, I haven't really, they're fun to build and it's fun to, mention that project because everyone's like, oh, wow, that's cool. That's impressive. But I mean, in the end, they're not really, I don't think they're necessarily the greatest. I think that my smaller storage system idea is probably better. Bunch of different smaller ones for different item types. Because that way, not only am I forced to travel around the world, but when it comes down to actually finding an item that I need, I will be able to get to it a lot quicker and easier. Plus, by separating that stuff all out, I can have all the different farms for those different items spread out across the world. And it just all pools into its individual storage systems. If I just do one monster storage system, though that is cool, unless I'm putting every single farm right there next to where the storage system is, it's going to get pretty annoying because you're going to have to carry the items by hand, or you actually do put those farms right there, and now lag is a very big problem. And as far as lag goes in this world, I don't need more reasons to be having lag. I already have all those custom armor stand guys. You can't see very many here because the rest of it's not, in render distance. But these guys, you only see like, I don't know, 8 right there. And then you got these guys over here. But that entire fishing, all of this is covered in them. This forest over here, completely covered in them. They look really good, don't get me wrong, but eventually, when you end up with a couple thousand entities in one area, it starts to become a problem, believe it or not. I know, never would have thought, but yeah, it becomes a pretty big problem. So I'm not sure really what the move... I think the move with storage rooms is 100% you got to do the smaller ones. It just makes more sense on every single playing field. So, back to the original question then. What do I do with the incredibly large amount of open space under these cliffs? Because this is Java, and the way... Well, it's not even the way simulation distance works, it's just the way that I have it set up. Since it is on Java and I have my simulation distance way up. Just because I can. I think it's nicer to be able to stand on top of my cliffs and look out and see all those armor stand people. I don't have it turned up now because running live streams is decently intensive and it does start to lag. But normally I have it way cranked up, and you can see that like in videos. If you just look out over the horizon, you can see everything. So, when you have that set up, the lag is... What was I talking about? I totally just lost train of thought. I don't know, but the lag is a lot more when you have that set up, and with the shaders. I have those turned off right now as well because, again, streaming. Yeah, I don't know what to do under those caves. Oh, now I remember. My point was going to be that in Bedrock, I would just put a bunch of farms under here and like squeeze everything into this area. But on Java, from the way I understand it, that's not really... It's not that it's not doable, because it is definitely doable. It's just not necessarily the greatest idea. Because I like Java mob spawning. I'm talking like a pro. That's great to hear, because I think I've been rambling on about a whole lot of nothing for the last 2 hours. So I've easily been talking about rooted dirt for probably like an hour in total this whole stream, so I'm sure people are sick of that beyond belief. But yeah, Bedrock mob farms, I would have just crammed a bunch of farms under these cliffs, because in Bedrock you could have all those mob farms right next to each other. You could have specialized mob farms and everything too, because you would normally be on like a simulation distance of 4. So whatever spawn proofing you would have to do wouldn't really be a problem. But because now I'm remembering what the point was, we've gone full circle here. Because on Java, I play on much higher render distances, and when I'm not streaming, usually I have it on the maximum render and simulation distance. You can't have all those farms crammed under there, because the amount of spawn proofing you would have to do is insane. Like they would not work. So yeah, we're not going to cram a bunch of farms under there. Plus, like I was talking about, the armor stand people, plus when I normally have my shaders on, plus I normally have, again, the render distance and simulation distance turned up. Oh, that's why I came out here. The lag would be unbelievable. was the point I was trying to get to. It took way longer to get to that point than it required, but you know, got there eventually. So back to what I was talking about originally when I mentioned this like 40 minutes ago. I'm not really sure what I could put underneath these cliffs because I still don't really have any plans for the area. Stepping back to look at this finished tuff layer here, the cliffs are looking good. Let's actually hit the shaders for the first time on this stream. That's right. They're looking really good. So we have this final section, which we're going to break into, well, realistically 3 sections, but 2 for the actual cliffs. We're going to do this one section of the darker stuff. It's going to be about 4 to 6-ish blocks each layer. And then we'll do another ring where it's recessed by 1, again, 4 to 6. And then the third layer will just be putting in that little bit of moss to level it out a bit. Also, while streaming with shaders, things are actually looking good. I wonder if it's just because I'm over here and I'm away from all of this madness over here. Yeah, see, there it is. That's the problem with that area. Over here, I could probably keep the shaders on, actually, because it's only able to load like maybe a dozen armor stands because I have the render distance and simulation distance turned down. Yeah, look at that. Over 100 frames. All right. Shaders are staying on. I wish I checked this earlier. We could have had shaders on for like the whole 2.5 hours. Now I'm just finding that out. Jeez. Yeah, this is not recessed from the tuff. Like at all, is it? That's special. Here. Alright, in some spots it is recessed. Generally, it does seem that I've generally not recessed it. It seems like I've just done whatever I felt in that section. Like over here, it's not recessed. Well, over here, there isn't even a tuff ring. Just faded off over here, but it does come back farther down. All right. Do I want to recess it or do I not? We're just not going to recess it. I think it'll work. So far, this is only like 3 to 4 blocks in each section, so take it up another 4 or 5 blocks. That'll be probably about 8 blocks. I totally forgot what numbers I said, so I probably look like a complete and utter, you know, genius over here. But yeah, I lost train of thought there once again. Yeah, no, it's working. Is this looking good? Yeah, it looks fine, not recessed. I think it's, yeah. This works just fine. All right. Ooh, you know, something we haven't yet yapped about, the villagers. I don't really have villagers set up in this world. We have a very limited amount of them that we set up over here, I think it was. I believe it's inside this little hill. Yeah, we have a few more than I thought we did originally, but still not that many. So at some point, I would like to set up a giant villager trading hall. Again, like I was talking with the storage rooms, I think that's going to be the kind of thing that I'm going to want to break up into smaller ones, like all over the world, so that A, again, I have reason to travel around, and B, again, minimizes the lag. Yeah, that's about all I have to say on that, so now what? I don't know. Bedtime. Almost. In like 300 ticks. So we can get in another section. Another section. Another section. Bedtime. How is this looking not recessed? Is it okay? You know what? It's okay. I don't dislike it, but for some reason it looks a little bit like not right. But if I come over here, it's not recessed over here either. And over here it looks fine. So I think it's just because we have like a partial piece of the picture. You know, I think once we finish this ring and the next one and like actually finish it, I think it should look fine. Hopefully. You know, yeah, that's what we're going to go with because I don't know. My brain is just starting to stop working. Oh, this was the lower section. Pop, up, pop, up. 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Let's see. What do I want to yap about now? Oh, we could talk about boats. I don't really have too much to talk about on that front, but I do need to figure out some new boat designs to mix into this area. I'm not sure what you would call this. It's not like a full-on harbor. Normally, a full harbor, you would have like some land barrier coming out, kind of blocking most of this, right? Because the point of a harbor is that like calmer seas compared to the ocean outside the barrier. So technically, I don't think this is a harbor. I could make it into a harbor. I don't think I will. I think that would really ruin some of the atmosphere. But I think we're just going to keep calling it a harbor because, yeah, I don't know what else you would call it, really. Probably just the ocean, right? But that's not really... That could be referring to all of this. I don't like that. So we're probably just going to keep calling that the harbor. And inside the harbor, I need more boats. I also need some smaller boats. Oh, it's not even in render distance. But the docks over there, I need some smaller boats that could fit in there. And I need to figure out what I want to do here. I think you could do something really special in this spot. I do already have these cliff jumpers that I made that short about. But I feel like something really special could be done like right here. I'm not really sure what yet. And if anybody has any ideas, I would love to know what you have to think or have to say, because I don't have anything in mind right now. But I do know that at some point, something should go there. Not only to fill the space, but just it would make the whole environment look more alive, more... I was going to say functional, but it wouldn't necessarily make it look functional depending on what you put in that spot. But really, I want something to make it look more alive, more like people actually, you know, come out here, have fun, they do whatever they do. I mean, we have the cliff jumpers to show that already, but I still feel we need something in the water. I have no idea what, though. All right, 5 more stacks of that. 5 more stacks of that. Back to Vec. All right, so we've got maybe a dozen more blocks on this section. All right, well now a lot less than that. Yeah, all right, this looking hopefully pretty good. All right, how does this look? Yeah, all right. From all the way back here, it looks just fine, looks completely fine. No real problems that I see at all. So I don't know what I've been yapping on about because it seems fine. Turn off the shaders. It still looks fine. I don't know why I thought there was a problem. Like I said earlier, I again think this was just a matter of I was looking at a unfinished painting, essentially, which technically we're still looking at an unfinished painting. We have one more ring to put on this thing, and then we are done. And for this ring, we need to get a few more resources. So let's just grab a stack. That's not a stack. 32 of those, plus we have 5 of those, and we're also going to need moss carpets. And probably some moss blocks. I don't really want to do all the moss yet, though. I'm trying to save that for later. I don't really want to deal with that yet. I know we're going to need a few here and there, but ideally, I can just do moss carpets for right now. Hopefully. Hopefully. All right, so this layer is recessed. And this layer, again, 5 to 6-ish blocks, really just until you get to like right here, where we would then go moss carpet, mix in some of that. Here I would probably put a moss block. And then we just got to continue it all the way down there again. Oi. Hey, it's been 3 hours. All right. All right. Yeah, I can tell. I'm like starting to fall asleep. All right, we're going to finish off this section. Not too much more to go. Should I be doing the moss as I go? I don't really want to, but it seems like this would be easier than coming back and doing it all later. Plus, every single time I've built the cliff so far, I've done it where I do the moss as I build the cliffs, so it just seems like it's what I should be doing. That's what we're gonna do. Plus, then we don't have to come back around later, so like, think about that, right? Upside. That would be one of those. Pop in one of those. Over here, we're gonna go build some more. Over here, we gotta take this up a little. Knock that down, put in one of those. We'll go like that. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm doing with the moss, I'm putting it 4 blocks back from all of the, well, like posts or whatever. And then here, what I should be doing is 4 this way, but we're not worried about the top. The top is something I'll worry about once I actually start. That'll be tomorrow's problem, actually, when I start planning the cathedral. Then I'll have to also plan the top out, but as of right now, that's not tonight's problem. And since I am starting to fall asleep over here, yeah, we're just gonna finish this. We're not really gonna put any thought into that yet, because I just cannot be bothered. Oh, it's getting dark again? I feel like I just slept. Put that there, those there. All right, let's sleep because it's getting dark again. How much more do we have to go? Also, let's just, how does this look? We haven't actually looked at that so far yet. I mean, it looks, you know, like cliffs. I mean, I'm not really sure what not really sure what I'm looking for here. It looks fine. I don't see any glaring things that bother me. Shocking, if we're gonna be honest, but seems fine to me. All right. So yeah, we can just take this up little by little as we continue. Carpet there, cube there. Sip of water here. Ah, very nice. Continuing along. In case you can't tell, I'm out of things to talk about. Yeah. All right. It's okay though. We're winding down. Starting to get this thing done. Let's actually fill that in there. Put that there. We'll go double carpet there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Splendid, splendid. There and there. All right. Yeah, all right. This is working pretty well. Something that would be perfect for like right now, I feel, would be just Minecraft music. I don't normally have that on. I'm really excited for when I update to version 121.7. I'm waiting on 2 more mods to get updated. I'm hoping that by next week, those will be updated. Of course, by next week, I'm sure 1.21.8 will be getting fully released, making it completely like redundant that I'm then upgrading to 21.7. But I never even updated to 21.6. All right, never, because 21.7 came out the following week, so I just didn't see a point. All the mods would have been upgraded and ready to go at like the same time. And actually, some of the mods that I'm still waiting for 7 still aren't even upgraded to 6. So for those ones, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. 3 of them are updated to 6, and I'm just waiting for them to go to 7. Again, like I said, probably next week. But one of them, the Armored Elytra, yeah, that's still only available in 0.4 and 0.5. Like that's not even in 0.6 yet, let alone 0.7. So I don't know when that's going to get upgraded. I have found another mod that does this. Essentially, this is just its own like mod that does all of this. But the Vanilla Tweaks website, which I already use a fair number of their data packs, they have their own Armored Elytra. And I've used it before, but I didn't really like it because it didn't actually show both pieces of gear. There's another data pack that I found that it just adds rendering. So you use it with the Vanilla Tweaks data pack, and you now have the visible chest plate. Or the visible, I don't know which one it is that doesn't render. It's been a while, but it renders the other one. So if this mod that I'm using, Armored Elytra, doesn't get upgraded, I may switch over to that other data pack because I know Vanilla Tweaks has their stuff updated. But hopefully by next week, when I expect the other 3 mods to be fully done and ready to go, hopefully at the same time, roughly, Armored Elytra will be getting upgraded. If not, though, oh well. Anyway, the whole point I was trying to make, and the reason I'm excited to upgrade to 21.7, is that's the version that adds in like music thing. I don't know if any of you guys know, but 21.7, now whenever you like, first of all, when you go to the pause menu, music, you can change a setting so the music keeps playing, which, I mean, for me is just kind of like a whatever. That's not really too big of a deal. Not the big thing I'm excited about, that's for sure. I'm excited because that means in 121.7, they also added the feature where you can see what track is playing. Like when a new music track starts, like a little advancement type icon will pop up and slide across your screen, and it will tell you the name of the track and that it started playing. And I think you can also go into your pause menu and it shows you like where the music is somewhere, and you can pause it from there too. So I'm really excited for all that. I think for things like streaming, that'll be very useful. I think it'll be a lot of fun, especially for the streams, because like right now, while my dang it, it's like right now when my brain is just starting to not work right, and I'm winding down, we could just turn on some of the music, and it would be perfect. And I know I could do that right now anyway, but I don't really want to. I want the new system. I'm stubborn for no real reason either, if we're just gonna be realistic. Like, again, I could just turn the music on right now and be fine, but I'm stubborn. Soon though, hopefully next week I can be using those features. One thing I am really excited about is when I do get to upgrade to 121.7, you know, I get the features from 121.6 because I don't have those yet either. I'm still on 5. And when I get those, of course, I get the Happy Ghast, which is exciting, though that's not the thing I'm most excited about. We get the brand new lead changes, finally. And I'm really excited about those lead changes because when I get those, I have some really fun ideas. They're like horse racetracks, because you'll be able to lead entities to each other. And in Java, you can put boats inside of minecarts. I'll be able to lead horses to boats that are inside of minecarts and have those minecarts be like on an have those minecarts be on an underground track somewhere, and it will be pulling the horses that are above ground along with it. And so you can essentially have horse races. Now, I have ideas to do some redstone stuff to actually make them, you can like place a bet and have like a real horse race occur. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Of all the random redstone projects we've discussed tonight, that is one that I've not mentioned because A, haven't thought about it until just now, and also I genuinely have no idea how I would do that. Genuinely have no clue. Like, I do have some incredibly vague ideas on how to start setting up the system, but I don't know. I'm at a loss because what I would need is a way to randomly start the minecarts individually, because there's no way to get the minecarts all starting at the same time and then like slow them down individually, like while they're racing to decide the winner, right? Actually, there probably is a way, but I don't see the way yet. Like, it's not apparently obvious to me yet. Hopefully it will become obvious to me soon, but I don't know. Because if I could get all the horses to start at the same time, which would be very easy to do, it's just, you know, how do I decide the winner then? Because if they all start at the same time, they're all going to stop at the same time. Because minecarts all go the same speed. And if I had certain rails switched out, that could work, but you can't have pistons pushing rails. So you can't have that track automatically change based on whatever random output the redstone gives you every single time, because that's just not possible. Because when a piston pushes a rail, it doesn't move it, it just breaks it. So you have to have it based off of how the horses start. Like, they have to start in a different order every single time. And the order in which they start would, of course, be the order in which they finish. So the horse that starts first would finish first, and that would be the winner. And of course, it would then make the whole race kind of useless then, because you know immediately who's going to win. It's the guy who started in first. So I really want a way to find... I want to find a way so I can make the horses vary in speed during the race. So they all start at the same time, and you have to actually, like, you know, watch the race and be excited about it as you watch it, because you're going to figure out who the winner is at the very end, of course. I really don't know how to do that yet. Because my thought that I have right now for how I might set up the system is you would have all the horses line up, and you would have a random, like a circuit below that picks a random output. It'll have like a random output that gets generated, and based on that random output, that would determine who wins. And so the guy who wins would be started like a full repeater tick thing before any of the others, maybe even 2 or 3 repeater links. No, not 3, maybe 2. But I mean, 2 repeater links, well, it isn't necessarily that long. Right? Like, it'd be very obvious while you're watching, all right, well, that guy's winning. And since they wouldn't change it all during the race, you would know that's the winner. And I don't like that. I do love this idea, and I'm 100% going to build it either way. But if I can't figure out a way that makes me really happy about the redstone, I might not implement the whole gambling redstone system to it. And I know, of course, it would have no, like, real purpose. This is a single player world, but it'd make me very happy knowing that I managed to set that up, you know? And I think a lot of viewers would find that interesting too. I mean, whether you really care or not, I think you'd be like, oh my god, he has a working, you know, Kentucky Derby in his Minecraft world, pretty much. I just gotta figure out how to make that work. How do I make that work? The only thing, well, now that I think about it, you could what you could do is you could set up all these tracks and you have just random switches, and then based on who the winner is going to be, certain horses, they get diverted to another track. Like underground, the minecarts get diverted to another track. Above ground, they would of course be like just one block over, so it wouldn't really look like anything happened. The viewer wouldn't notice anything, but that little switch would impact how the race finishes then. But then, you know, let's say you have 6 or 8 horses on this track, depending on how big you made it, of course. Where are you fitting the switches for those middle tracks? Because you're going to have 8 minecart tracks all right next to each other. So where are you placing those extra switches, especially for those middle tracks? That math isn't adding up either. And you can't have the switch like drop it down or like a piston open a hole in the ground, because A, that would break the minecart track on top of the block. So you manually would have to go in there and fix it, because again, pistons can't move rails. There's no other way to do that. And B, if it goes down underground, the lead will just snap and that horse will just now be standing in the middle of the track, like not knowing what's going on. So that wouldn't do me anything either. I really don't know. I'm just talking like out loud, because when I talk out loud about this stuff, usually the idea comes to me. It usually comes to me a lot quicker when I'm talking out loud. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll tell you what I am sure of, though. We have just finished this cliffside. So we can go ahead and box up the moss. We can box up our deep slate, and then finally box that up. And then we're going to get all these boxes out of my ender chest, because I don't actually want these in here. Yeah. Also, that was a very fire transition into what I know from what I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. We get a like for that, maybe. Yeah. All right. Let me go put all this junk away, and then we'll take a look at it. Also, because I normally have the shaders on, I don't see it, but dude, this waterfall without the shaders, I think it looks a lot better without the shaders than with the shaders, actually. From a lot farther away without the shaders, you can tell, like, oh, the water's moving. With the shaders, you can't really tell that. Yeah, these two are flip-flopped. And again, this actually doesn't matter, but it bothers me, so we're gonna fix it. Just real quick, it's not like it's gonna really take any time at all. This is another thing. Yep. Yeah. None of that actually mattered, but it bothered me because I'm crazy. Anyway, we can now go ahead, take a look at the extension that we've added to our cliffs. It took us 3 hours and 15 minutes, but we got it done. How's it look from the fish market? Can't even see it. All right, tell you what. We're going to turn these back up. I know I'm streaming, so it's probably going to get laggy, especially when I turn the shaders on, but I think it looks pretty good. It does curve, so, you know, you don't really end up seeing all of it, especially from over here. But, yeah, I mean, it looks good. It is a little past noon as far as sunlight goes. I mean, it looks good. Again, it's nothing special. It's just a bit of an extension of what we had. You can see where we started because I didn't add that lip of the moss. So all this perfectly flat, that's what we've just added. And that's where we started. Yeah, it looks good. Let's see, how's it look on our map? I'm a map. Oh, no, I'm gonna get copyright struck. But yeah, there it is on our map. You can see again the extension. I'm quite pleased. It looks pretty good. I do think we need to extend it this whole bit here. I do. I think for the purpose of this next video, I mean, the cathedral, I haven't yet decided exactly how big it's going to be, but it's going to be, you know, it's either going to be going this way or this way. And either way, that's going to be like the entire area. And you're going to put in flower gardens and stuff around it. I mean, it's going to be the whole thing, you know? So no matter what, when I come in for some cinematic shot, I can try and keep most of them coming from that direction, but yeah. You are going to want some from this direction because A, you're going to be able to see that in the background, and B, then you won't see this in the shot because I don't really want to have to tear this all down right now for this project. Plus, it's not in the way, it's just not the greatest view. But I don't know what I want to do with this area yet, so I'd rather just leave that untouched. So yeah, this is going to have to get extended probably back to here, like the point of this. Right here, because then as you're coming in on the cathedral, this will all be the cliffs. And then it's going to have to get faded away, these cliffs. Somewhere over here, for reference, the cabin. Right there. You can see the campfire effect. So that's the cabin. And then that's the forest. And I want to make all of this that custom pine forest. But I don't know if I'm going to want it at that cliff height. So the cliffs will either have to start fading down along here, or, because this is pretty steep, it's just going to run all the way along until around here, where they will then fade into just this mushy mud color that the rest of that, I don't even want to call that a cliff. The rest of that hillside is at the lumber camp, logging camp village over there. Yeah. Either way, this is all looking pretty good. It is day 12:18. So it actually hasn't taken us that long. I don't remember what we started on. It was probably like day 12:03 when I started working on this today. When I started streaming, it was probably like 12:05, 12:06, something like that. I remember saying 12:08 at some point. That was a little while ago. But yeah, it does look pretty good. I'm quite pleased that it is extended. It did take pretty much how long I thought it was going to take. I was expecting that section to take about 2 hours to actually put together. And what a shocker. It took us a little over 90 minutes to get all the resources. When we were mining that dripstone, I seem to remember saying it was 90 minutes. I mean, if I really care that much, I can check back at the footage, but it took us over half the stream just collecting those resources, so it took less than 2 hours just to put this together, actually. So, I mean, yeah, as far as time goes, that's probably the quickest section of this I've put together out of all of this so far. I'm actually really proud of that. And of course, it looks good. Yeah. All right, let's land so that the Elytra doesn't keep pushing us forward, and we can free cam it just to get a view of this entire area. We are on the full render distance too. You can't even like get close enough to see the house. That's one thing that does annoy me about Java. On Bedrock, I can have a render distance up to like 90 some chunks. Here it maxes out at 32. I like making big environmental things, and I can't see out over the horizon into the environment I've made because it just cuts off. But it is what it is. Yeah, that looks really good. I'm really pleased with this. Of course, a lot more work needs to be done. Cliffs over there. I'll probably do cliffs all the way around this as well. I don't know what I'm going to do with this chunk of land or anything moving down in this direction. But if I do the cliffs all the way along that edge as well, I think it would look absolutely insane. That is a colossal project and a absolute that entire area all the way along that landmass is probably more cliffs. I think that's about double all the cliffs I've already built. So all of this doubled going down along that landmass. It would look absolutely epic. But yeah, that's not something that I have no plans for over there yet, so it's not really worth the time, you know? Tell you what was worth the time though, this stream. We now have extensions to the cliff. I have some work to do tomorrow, of course. Next stream will be on Thursday, so if y'all had a good time, go ahead, smash that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and on Thursday when I go live, you will be notified. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope y'all had a good time. I sure did. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!